Well, thanks for joining us today, Courtney. I know we had a very busy 2022. 2023 popped up out of nowhere, and so excited to have a nice conversation with you on the awesome progress that we've had within Kapoq. So, how about just to kick things off? Some people might be familiar already, but do you think you could just briefly summarize your role at Kapoq?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Courtney Taylor. I'm the director of product management here. Previously came from the agency side, so bringing some of that knowledge over into the product on this side. And I work with the team here to create new builds and enhancements based on our roadmap and the feedback from all of our users.
Cool. Okay. Well, I know we had a really busy Q3 and Q4 and built out a lot of new features within Kpoc. And I was wondering if you could maybe just highlight some of the key ones that excited you most that were released in the second half of 2022.
Yeah, so a lot has happened. I think I said that when we did our last video too. There were some things that we teased in our last video that have since been released. So I just want to quickly touch on a couple of those.
Mhm.
First and foremost, day parting was a huge topic of conversation the last time you and I spoke. And I'm really pleased to report that we've released a manual version of day parting that allows you to increase, decrease, or completely stop spend by day of the week and hour at the campaign level. So there's new settings in there. You can go in and set that up. And then to go along with that, we also have some really great visual charts in there next to the settings that display that real-time data for both day and hour using AMS data. So we did a lot of back end work to get AMS data in there. We're starting to incorporate it. And that was sort of the first big place that we even put that in terms of within the platform. So super excited about that. And there's certainly more to come there.
Yeah, that was a huge update. And I know, yeah, we have more to come too for day parting, but lots of awesome stuff in 2022. So I was really excited to see that come along.
Definitely. And sort of another one we spoke about last time was a goals submodule in analytics. So you can set up goals for numerous metrics and track them over time. We've got a pretty extensive suite of options in there, depending on what's really important for your brand, for that account. There's also 7 and 28-day moving averages in the charts. There's bulk uploads, Excel exports. So really allowing you to dig in further and sort of track the things that are most important to you and your brands.
Yeah, the goals features are now so customizable. You can really get at it whatever way you want to see things. So yeah, I've been impressed. It seems like there's a new feature coming out like every month where we're like, oh, we're adding in moving averages, we're adding in this. So it's really fun to see kind of us keep taking it to the next level on the goals submodule. I really enjoy going in there and just seeing how things are going and where brands are doing well and seeing certain trends. So I think that's an awesome feature that we added.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. And speaking of features that we just keep taking to the next level, earlier in the year, we sort of did a huge revamp of the LTV summary report over multiple releases. You are very intimately familiar with a lot of the work that
Yeah.
went on there. And we realized there's a lot of great data, right, that's in this report that we're really not showing anywhere in the platform. So the customer experience module now has a sub module for customer LTV. And it's got some really great visual charts alongside with some lifetime value metrics up at the top, and allows you to really dig into some of those things without having to download the full report. So we've got things like lifetime value, customer acquisition cost. There's even a chart in there for SKU specific data for items customers also purchased if you want to get down in there. And that's going to also continue to evolve in the new year. So really excited to see, where we continue going with that. And I have a little sneak peek about, sort of our thoughts and where we're going with it in our next section.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, LTV. Yeah, I feel like I've definitely been heavily involved there, and it's been fun. And yeah, we built out so much stuff. The report now, I think, has like 7 tabs of different LTV ways you can slice and dice things, and we're always adding more and looking to see how can we integrate it into other areas of KPOC. So yeah, definitely more to come. Awesome. So does that kind of highlight all the main things that you were thinking about? Okay, cool for Q3 and Q4. Yeah, and I know you mentioned briefly like we had the Q1, Q2 video. So hopefully some people enjoyed that and watched that one already and kind of were able to see what we did want to build out for the rest of 2022 and how we were really able to do a lot. So Awesome. So then I guess now looking forward to 2023, I know we're a few weeks in already. What are you most excited about that we have kind of upcoming for Kapoq as far as major features to be released in 2023?
So there's never any shortage of great projects in our pipeline. But sort of based on a few of the things I mentioned that we've already built, I think like we've got some expansion plans that are really exciting to go along with those. So LTV, we just spoke about that, and so I wanted to bring that up again. We've sort of, built out the report, we've built out a submodule, we're going to continue making enhancements there. But I think now is the right time to start shifting our focus and implementing it within advertising. So the way that we're thinking about this and approaching it is we want to provide some targeting options for LTV and customer acquisition cost. And we have already started laying the groundwork with that in the form of ASIN level LTV and customer acquisition cost data. So already starting down that path and really excited to sort of go, cross module with this one. I think there's a lot of really good information and things that we can do with this.
Definitely, yeah. That's a big project with a lot of potential value add. And so I'm really excited for that one to kind of not just have it be LTV. A lot of times you'll see it and it's interesting standalone information. But I think Kapoq's all about how can we recommend actions and decisions and actually make the data come to life so that you can actually make decisions around it. And so I'm excited to take it to the next level. And so that's going to be an exciting project for 2023.
Absolutely. And day parting is sort of the other one. So advertising is never a done build. Amazon's always coming out with new things. We're always getting really great feedback from our users. So we've got a manual version of day parting in there, but we'd really like to take that to the next level and have full automation. So we do, now that we've got the AMS data incorporated in there, that's going to make the automation portion a lot easier on us because we can give you real-time data and then also, sort of make adjustments as that comes in. And to go along with that too, we're planning on implementing the ability to apply those day parting settings at the strategy and account level, not just campaign. So giving you some options, again, more flexibility as to how you want to incorporate day parting into your strategy.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one. And yeah, there's always more to do. Things are always changing and day parting is really important. So it also, yeah, excited to see all the things that we can build out there for this year as well.
Absolutely. And I don't want to leave inventory out of the mix because it continues to be an important topic of conversation. We know right now it's beginning of the year, inventory planning is in full swing for a lot of folks. And we want to expand our forecasting tools to make the process more efficient. So we've got a sales forecast wizard already, but we want to take that to the next step. So we are working on a unit level forecast at the SKU level. And we're going to be taking historical sales data, offering up recommended seasonality, and then offering some options for custom inputs like run rate to really help you get down to that level and really determine what you need to order. Planning your sales out is one thing, but then taking it, towards that second step, which is, okay, I know what I need to do in terms of sales, but how do I get there? Like what SKUs are going to get me there? And what do my, orders need to look like for the rest of the year? So that one is also in progress. We're starting with an Excel template, and then we'll move on to the platform itself. But I feel like that's going to be a huge value add for our users and something that a lot of them have requested. So super excited to be working on this project.
Yeah, that's a big one. And I was actually just working on that today, a little bit of the unit forecasting by SKU. So yeah, I mean, that's something where you can always kind of get better over time. And what are all the things you want to incorporate? It's hard. No one's perfect with forecasting, but what are all the variables we want to put in? And how can we kind of make that as good as possible? So yeah, that's definitely a great one to watch out for 2023 in Kapoq.
Definitely. And speaking of user requests, so we are also starting down the path of customizable dashboards. So this has been a request, I think, since Kapoq first launched. And we are, we did a little bit of it with the advertising metrics stats in the advertising module. And now we're going to expand that out to the other dashboards one by one. So main dashboard is next, but really giving users that ability to determine, what do they want to see on the dashboards? What metrics do they want to display? In what order? So where on the page should those things show up for them? And just like the advertising stats, we'll save those down at the user level. So I think 2023 is the year of probably more customization, more flexibility. We're always working towards that, and we hear it a lot. So trying to get in there and make that easier for users.
Yeah, I remember when we added it in advertising, I was like, this is so cool. And then there's always the question of like, let's add it everywhere in Kapoq and add it into all the dashboards. So yeah, I've kind of seen the progress chugging along with that. And yeah, I think that's just great. So you can just log right in and see what's the most important to you, focus on your key metrics. So that'll be a great add-in as well.
Yep. And I think like so those are like the main projects that come to mind right now. As we, go through the year, we'll probably have another video. There will definitely be more updates, other projects we're working on as well. But one thing, last but not least, that I did want to call out. So last video we teased FBA shipment creation, and we have made a lot of progress on that end. So we're getting close to a general release for our users. Um, Wrapping up some key components on entering box information, tidying up some of the functionality for a better user experience. So we're super excited to unveil that. So stay tuned for more on this front. It's going to be a pretty big announcement when it gets here. We're just trying to make sure that what we've got in there works for all of our users before we release it, and I think we're almost there. So
Yeah, I've seen a lot of good progress there and definitely good to make sure you get it right for the release. So I'm glad we're taking our time doing a lot of testing and getting it ready to go. So glad to hear, yeah, we've made a lot of progress there and can expect it to come out pretty soon. So, well, it sounds like it's going to be a busy 2023. That was a good list. And I know those were the highlights too. And we have a lot more things coming out too. So it's going to be a fun year.
yeah, I actually am really looking forward to our next video so we can be like, hey, here's all the great things
Right?
that we did, in the first half of the year. So yeah, as always, we really have to thank our users for all of the great feedback that they've provided. They've worked really closely with us on some of the projects we did get completed, some of the things we're working on now. So we really couldn't do it without them and for our great team for releasing all of these great features and continuing to work at it. So thank you, everyone. Kpoq is truly here because of the great feedback that our users provide, and we couldn't be more grateful for that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also thank you, Courtney, for talking to us today, giving us some good highlights. And we kind of plan to do these every 6 months. So we'll come back the middle of 2023. We'll be here before we know it. And we'll be able to kind of reflect on what we're looking forward to, what we've released, and kind of make another one of these in 6 months. So yeah, that kind of wraps up what I wanted to talk about. And awesome to hear about Kpoq and our developments. Any kind of last or final words? And thanks for joining us today, Courtney.
No, I think that's it for me. Just really excited to see what we build in 2023. I know it's going to be another great year for us.
Awesome. Well, that sounds great. Thanks everyone for joining. Hope you have a good 2023. You've had a good start to the new year, and we'll talk to you soon.